Hey, everybody. Good to have you guys here. Thanks for joining one more Hostfully webinar. Today, we're going to have the pleasure to speak with Netska from PointCentral. And I'm Pedro Leal. I'm the Vice President of Business Development. And I also have Coulter, one of our Director of Business Development here to help us today. We're going to give about 3 minutes just to make sure everybody is able to join the room. And while we are waiting right here, we just posted some polls. So I'd welcome everybody to answer, and we can actually take a look at the results in the end. All right? So let's just give a couple more minutes to make sure everyone is able to connect, and we're going to get this started. Thank you again for joining us. Can see already some results coming up. That's great. Thanks for responding that. That'll be very helpful to understand how are you guys feeling about 2021, if you're using smart home devices, if your PMS is currently connected with smart home devices. I think that's a good question. Awesome. More people connecting right now. That's great. So exciting. How you doing today, Jim? Thank you, and welcome for being here with us.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Pedro, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure. How you doing, Coulter?
Doing well, Pedro. Excited to have this conversation with you guys.
That's awesome. We're very excited, too. Thanks, everybody. Number is really going up. That's great. A lot of people answering the polls. Very nice. All right. I think we're getting ready to get started. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Pedro Leal. I'm the Vice President of Business Development. For those who just joined, today I have Netska from PointCentral and Coulter, one of our Director of Business Development. We're really excited to kick it off. I don't know if you had the chance to see or to be communicated before, but Hostfully just launched an integration with PointCentral. We're very excited to get some joint clients. So if you use Hostfully, if you use PointCentral, consider integrate. Always know that we are always here to help you with anything we can. All right. Before we get started and I give the word to Jim, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about Hostfully. So if you haven't heard about Hostfully yet, Hostfully is a software company based in San Francisco, and Hostfully thrives helping vacation rental management managers run their business and basically provide a 5-star hospitality. We have 2 main products, a full property management platform that has also a channel manager, fully integrated with Airbnb, Verbal, Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Home2Go, and a lot more. We have a booking pipeline where you can see all your leads, your bookings, and basically manage your operation in a different way that different PMSs won't have. We have a direct booking integration and also direct booking templates where you can create your website and start selling directly to your guests, automated messages, payment processing, reports, analytics, and a lot more. And our second platform is our digital guidebook, where you can basically boost the guest experience, cut down communication, upsell products and services for an extra income, and of course, generate a lot more 5-star reviews. A little quote of Terry White, which is the VRMB PMS Selector Tool creator. He's basically analyzing a lot of different PMSs out there and coming up with reports. We've got the reward, the Keystone Reward in 2019, and now we got the reward again. So we're back-to-back winners. So a huge congrats to the whole Hostfully team, to the whole Hostfully community, clients, and everybody involved in this process. I think that's a big win for everybody. And Terry White said that Hostfully is one of the best software periods I've ever seen. So it's great. Shout out to Terry. Thank you again. And also Eric is one of our clients, and that's basically the same view of a lot of other clients, which the guidebooks totally blow them away and has made them save so much time, and it's much more professional and more than a Word document or a PDF. So if you haven't tested our products yet, the guidebook, we have free trials for all of them. We have also 1 free guidebook for everybody who doesn't use guidebooks yet. So we want to be able to support the industry. If you haven't tested, please test it. Let us know, Coulter and I, or anybody in the Hostfully team. We can help, and we are happy, always happy to talk to you and understand more about your business. All right, lastly, if you haven't downloaded our 2020 report yet, please do. There's a lot of cool insights and very nice information. Hopefully every year we'll basically launch this industry reports, and it's available at hostfully.com/2020 reports. Besides that, Hostfully provides a lot of cool content, a lot of very informative reports. And if you haven't seen that yet, please go to our website, go to our learning sections. You'll find lots of cool reports, blog posts, and articles that I'm sure will be very helpful to you. All right, now I'd like to formally welcome Gene. Thank you for being with us, Gene. Thanks for being available. We're really excited with this integration, and let's see what we have prepared for us.
Pedro, thank you. Appreciate it. And we're really proud to be integrated with Hostfully. Congratulations on that Keystone Award. Thanks for inviting me today. Just as a note, PointCentral also won that Keystone Award for smart home automation. So we're in the same club together. So that's fantastic. And so thank you all for joining today. Let me get started right away. Again, my name is Jim Netska. I am the Director of Sales for the short-term rental vertical here at PointCentral. The goal today is to really understand how smart home technology is shaping our world and really our industry, and how property managers can leverage the technology to improve operations, safety, and the guest and owner experience. So what's our agenda? Item 1 is to discuss the growth of smart home and its implications to your business as a property manager. And then 2, how to roll out smart home, choosing the right partner, how to fund this, how to market it to your owners, what's the installation process look like, and then at the end, hopefully we'll have time for some Q&A. So that's really the agenda and the goal in my brief discussion this afternoon. So the first piece I wanted to share with everybody is that smart home is really becoming the standard. And when you think about it, if you look at this slide, right, you know, smart home adoption in 2019, 33% of households were penetrated with smart home. By 2023, we expect that to go to 53%. Over 40 million households have at least one device. But the point of it all really is that smart home is really taking off, and it's something that people expect today. You know, I put this slide in the deck. I love this slide. It shows you from over the last century. If you think how long it took for Americans to adopt the telephone or refrigerators or washing machine, color TVs, you know, because we've all lived there, how, you know, cell phones went almost vertical. The internet went like a rocket ship, and really the same thing is happening today with smart home. It's something that is exploding, and it's taken off. It's taken off real fast, and you know it's taken off, and there's implications on your business as a property manager, and we believe that they're significant because of the rapid speed that smart home is evolving. So the challenge number 1 that we look at is really that homeowners are buying these consumer grade solutions today. They're going to Home Depot and Lowe's, and they're buying Nest thermostats and smart locks and different type of gadgets. And what that means is you as a property manager are really losing control of that guest experience. I'm sure you've all heard stories about you know, the owner that's controlling that Nest thermostat and doesn't like his electric bills being high, and while the guest is there, he's controlling that thermostat. The guest is calling you, the property manager, complaining about the air condition not working. Those are stories that we hear all the time, and you know that's becoming a problem. And then also, if the homeowner starts buying these consumer grade devices, if you as a property manager decide to take your 100, 200, 500 doors and want to take a smart home enterprise-wide solution and control all of these devices from one nice, neat dashboard, it becomes more difficult for you because your owner just bought this consumer-grade solution, and they're going to be less inclined to want to spend money on new hardware that you're recommending them to buy because you want to adopt smart home. So the point being is that, you know, these problems are here, and the sooner a property manager moves to smart home, I think, the better. And then again, like I said, funding becomes more challenging. And as a property manager, you can potentially lose a revenue stream, which I'll touch on in a little bit. Challenge number 2 is that the guests are beginning to expect this. They already want it. They already want this experience. Focusrite came out with a great survey. Many of you may have seen early last year, and they surveyed lots of owners and guests and property managers. And so this isn't my data. This is right from that Focusrite survey. And actually, all the data in the deck is from that survey. 27% of guests who considered staying in a short-term rental but decided not to, cited safety as the reason for their decision. And, of course, I've stayed in many short-term rentals, and we're all familiar with it. And I think the challenge here is really, from a safety concern, is not only where that property is located or the neighborhood, but I think it's really about, you have your family in that unit, and who's had the key before, has the door been rekeyed, and that's different when you're in a hotel. The second bullet there, 40% of the 18 to 34-year-old traveler said that direct house check-in and other smart home benefits like pre-cooling or preheating were moderately important to very important to them when they were choosing a short-term rental. So I think that's pretty significant too. And then lastly, 42% of that same 18 to 34 demographic traveler and 31% overall of all travelers said that they would pay an extra $5 to $10 a night to stay in a property that had smart home automation. So I think those are some pretty significant pieces of data that we found from that survey. This slide here, if you look at to the right, I mean, 98% of guests in a hotel expect the hotel to have high-speed internet. We all know that. We expect USB ports for charging. But some of these other numbers I think are interesting. 62% expect the smart thermostats, 53% smart lighting, the 54% want the mobile keyless entry, 68%, almost 3/4 of guests today expect the TV to be smart so they can watch Hulu and Netflix and so on, and 27% expect tablets. Again, point being that hotel guests expect this, and guests that stay in short-term rentals are also expecting these type of technologies. And then to the left, again, I think it's this is from the Focusrite survey. People who didn't stay in a short-term rental, what was their reason why? And you can see 37% preferred the hotel services, 28% liked the hotel amenities, and right underneath that, 28% had concerns about safety. So again, the point being that guests are looking for this. They want these amenities, and in our industry, we really need to provide these to our guests. So what are the opportunities? Well, with smart home, property managers can improve operational efficiency. We can increase safety, which I already mentioned. Operational efficiency. I talk to property managers frequently, and I always say to them, have you ever really thought about what you're spending a week or a month or a year managing keys? And what does that really cost you? How many times has a guest lost the key and you had to roll a truck to replace? Or how many people maybe left a bad review? Or really just generally, how much money and time are you spending today dealing with keys? And then the same with safety. What would it really cost you if you got a bad review because, God forbid, there was a safety issue in one of those units? Or if people didn't feel safe and they didn't book your locations because it didn't have smart home? Any idea what that really cost you? And then, from a homeowner's perspective, protecting those assets, and what is that costing you in business because the owner feels like their AC system's being abused or their electric bills are too high. And then I think we talked a lot already about the guest experience and what their expectations are. So the opportunity here also is to differentiate yourself and actually turn this into a new profit center for your business, which I said I'll mention. So on operational efficiency side, again, it's eliminating keys. Turn day operation. You'll get notified when a guest checks in, when a guest checks out. You'll be notified when the cleaning crew entered the property, and you'll be notified when the cleaning crew finished their job. When the inspector came and when the inspector left, or any contractor or maintenance, you'll know everyone that left the property with history reports and so on, which will enable direct-to-house check-in, which we know guests want today, and potentially could even make you more money with early check-ins. The remote control of pools or spa to eliminate and eliminating lockouts is big, and overall, again, reducing truck rolls. So there's a lot of operational efficiency here, and talking to property managers, you would be shocked that when people really measured this, the significant amount of money that they're spending, or said another way, could be saving by implementing smart home, and basically it would pay for itself. And then safety, I've mentioned a few times. Security risks are out there with keys and or floating codes, and approximately 2/3 of U.S. VRMs are still using keys, which is a rather large number. And you know, the safety is the ability to remotely add, delete, or audit access in real time to any and all of your units, whether it's 50 or 50,000. And then protecting homeowner assets. This is really a big one. We hear frequently that owners are getting some pretty hefty energy bills, and through the use of a smart thermostat, Energy Star said that you can save anywhere from 15 to 23%. We've seen some property managers that save even significantly more than that. They did an A/B test to see how much they actually would save. And we've all seen the stories of guests who go to a beach property, for example, and lower the AC down to 60 and leave that sliding glass door open on the balcony all day long, and the AC unit's freezing up. And by having that smart thermostat and being able to set occupancy-based rules and limits, you're able to save the owner a significant amount of money, as well as extend the life of that HVAC system, get critical alerts when the temperature is either rising or dropping where it shouldn't be, so that you can take action when the properties are vacant. The system will either raise or lower the temperature depending where you are to prevent mold and save energy. We also have smart devices that can monitor water. Many of you probably, if you've seen a blown washing machine pipe or a bad leak, the damage that can cause. But we have water monitoring that can also detect these leaks and notify you immediately. And overall, you've got complete controlled access to each and every one of those properties that you're managing. And I think that would give the homeowner some real peace of mind knowing that you have that ability. And then the guest experience, again, we know that guests, you know, they got the family in the car with the dog, and they don't want to drive 15, 20 minutes out of the way to go to the office and pick up a key and sign paperwork. They really want that direct check-in. They're on vacation. They want to go directly to that unit and start their vacation. That's a really big deal. And for the, you know, there's no need for the guests to keep track of keys, especially if they have multiple guests. It's easy for everyone to get an email and know what that code is to the door. It's easy to accommodate early check-ins and potentially charge for that. And again, the safety and security of the property, which, as you saw in the survey, is a pretty big deal. And they get to arrive at their unit at a comfortable temperature, which I think is real important as well. So what smart home allows is you to differentiate yourself as a property manager and actually turn it into a profit center and earn money on this, and with that revenue pay for the whole system and earn money. So here's some things that property managers are doing today that I thought I would add to this slide, right? Many are selling that early check-in or late checkout, and because of the fact that they're notified as soon as that a unit is ready, it's easy for them to do that, so they're earning money there. You can pay for the keyless entry system entirely through a reservation or cleaning fee increase, which I'll mention in the next slide. You can, excuse me, you could sell Excel energy management and asset protection to your homeowners. Many property managers talk to their owners, and if you know what the average electric bill, for example, is in a unit, and you could save that owner 20%, and you just do the math, they're very inclined to want to make that one-time payment for smart home and buy a lock and buy a thermostat. It pays them back time and again, and you as a property manager can charge a monthly fee for that energy management solution for them. And overall, by having smart home, you can attract and retain homeowners with property automation technology. So it's kind of a win-win, really. And, so if you wanted to do this, the last part really is, how do you get this done? What's involved in implementing smart home? If I had 100 doors or 200 doors, how do I get this done? So step one really is you have to choose the right technology partner. There's a lot of providers out there. This is not a consumer grade solution that you're looking for. This is an enterprise solution where you will have a dashboard that will allow you to control hundreds or even thousands of properties at once. And you really need the right partner that has the right platform. You're looking for a partner that has stability. There's a lot of startup companies out there. A lot of them don't survive. If you purchase that platform and their hardware, and God forbid they went out of business, that's a significant loss that you invested. So the stability of who you're choosing, I think, is really important, and that partner's got to be proven. They have to have a proven solution that works with a large variety of property managers and is reliable and secure. You want one that has integrations with companies like Hostfully, for example, and lots of those integrations. You want a company that has a cellular solution versus Wi-Fi. We believe that cellular is the way to go. It's way more secure. It's got military-grade encryption. You don't have to have Wi-Fi if you have a unit that doesn't have Wi-Fi when occupied, for example. And everybody knows the issues with Wi-Fi signal, and going in and out. And cellular is extremely reliable. And you want a company with great customer support. When you have issues, you want a company that's got people who are trained technically and understand what they're working on, and not just a company where you can talk to the computer via chat and get an FAQ list to help you out. You want to really have a company that's there to help you and support you with live people. And then lastly, a company that's going to continue development. We talked earlier about how quickly this technology is evolving, and there's lots of different things, as we call it, or gadgets, and you want a company that's at the forefront and is constantly developing those new devices and software solutions. This slide I threw in, as I mentioned before, there's been a lot of companies that have tried smart home, and as you can see here, 9 out of 10 have failed, right? Some of these companies were launched and had gotten millions of dollars in funding, and today they don't exist. So again, you're looking for a company that's stable and that's going to be there long term with you. And then this slide I hit already. And then one other thing, I like this slide too. Don't make a decision based on price alone. You can see the slide there. It kind of just basically speaks for itself. You get what you pay for, as they say. Then what's step two? This step's important. This is about adoption. When you go to your homeowners, we know from doing this for many years what percentage of adoption you're going to get, depending on how you approach those homeowners. And we've seen property managers do this in a variety of different ways, but generally, and these numbers are pretty accurate, if you craft a letter, which a good smart home company can assist you with and has samples of those letters available, that really just states that we're going wireless, here's the reasons why, and then handle the exceptions as they come, I should say, you'll get an 80% adoption rate. And even if you put the solution in the other 20% of the homes, if you are charging certain fees, you can actually still turn a profit by having 100% of your portfolio on smart home, even though 80% of the homeowners decided to opt in. So that's the top one. The other one, the bottom one I'll share, which a lot of property managers like to do, is they really do an opt-in. They send a letter, they ask the homeowners if they would like to do this, they let them know why we're offering this solution, and the homeowners blow it off, and you get somewhere between 5 and 20% adoption, and it really doesn't make sense to do because you didn't get your whole portfolio or the majority of your whole portfolio on the platform, so you're still doing things the old way, doing things the new way. It really doesn't make sense. But there's other ways to do it, but really making it required and explaining the reasons why, and if done right, the homeowners will clearly see it, especially in the short-term rental vertical. Step 3 is determine the funding model to be used. There's different ways that property managers are doing this today. I thought I'd share a few of them with you. And some implement it, and then they do a cleaning or a reservation fee increase anywhere from $5 to $15 per reservation. And the property manager markets a better experience and safety to the guests, and they do it via an increase in that cleaning and reservation fee. It covers the cost of the entire system, and it ultimately generates a profit for their business. Another way to do, and the benefits of this approach is you get the free keyless solution to an amazing value. It's no cost to you. You get keyless entry on all of your inventory, and you increase bookings through the great marketing story that you have, and you actually turn a profit. So the small sample I put there is really one unit or one door based on 25 reservations in a year. You can generate $1,875 over a 5-year period compared to $1,200 a year in cost, and that's just for one home, 25 reservations a year. In addition, you can sell energy management to the homeowners for $15 a month. The homeowner will save significantly more than that $15. They would be crazy. It's a no-brainer for the homeowner not to do that. And now, as the property manager, you've implemented this whole solution, and you're turning yourself a significant profit each year. Another way to do it is to split the cost between all 3 parties, which this one's pretty popular. The owner pays for the lock and the thermostat. The property manager pays for the hub. This way, if that owner leaves your program, they keep the lock and the thermostat. They'll still work on their own manually. And you, as the property manager, use the hub. And when you win a new client, you can just put that hub in the new home and buy a lock and a thermostat, and you're in business again, and that new property is on your program. And again, increasing the cleaning and reservation fee by $5 to cover the cost there. The third funding model is to split the cost between the property manager and the owner. The owner pays the majority. It's the one-time hardware fee, $150 at the beginning of the year, which really covers the monthly cost of the service, and the property manager takes care of the hub. So as you can see, there's a variety of ways to do it. There's no right or wrong way to do that funding. I think it really depends on the type of clientele that the property manager has, and we've seen it work in a variety of ways. And then step 4 is you really want to deal with a company that's going to help you market this to your owners and has a web portal where they can gain access to a variety of marketing material that can be branded with your logo and your name as the property manager that sells and markets this to the owner. And you got to create and follow a timeline to get this done. The property manager needs to sign someone internally as a project manager that the smart home company can deal with on a regular basis to get it implemented. The sending those introductory letters about going keyless is real important, and the details in the letter and choosing and hosting a webinar is also a great way to educate the owners and get questions answered. And of course, a good smart home company will be more than happy to host and do a webinar with you to share that with all of your owners, but real important. And then step 5 is the installation and training. The project manager within your company fills out a property data sheet on each property, answers homeowners' questions about the change, upsells energy management. Some property managers have incentivized their staff to sell those owners on the thermostat solution to increase revenue to them, and then coordinate the installations. The installations are, in my opinion, after you do the first 1 or 2 homes with support from the smart home company, it becomes kind of easy, and I don't think it's too difficult. And many property managers do this themselves after they get that support. But there's always professional installation options that are available as well. And then a good smart home company will provide your staff with training, unlimited online webinar training. If someone needs to come out, the company will come out. But it's really about getting your staff familiar with the software and making sure that the whole process goes smoothly. So again, thanks for taking time. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. There's my email address for anybody that would like to contact me. I think that's my presentation, and again, be happy to answer any questions. Pedro, back to you.
Thank you so much, Jim. That was really amazing. Thanks for all the insights and lots of content and great information for us. Let's go over through some questions to Jim and to Hostfully.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Pedro. And thank you, everyone, for your thoughtful questions. Of course, if you have any additional questions, keep posting them in that questions tab right there. But Jim, our first question that I just wanted to pass along to you was someone inquired about where PointCentral is available. Is it available internationally? And if so, what markets is that going to be available for?
Yes, thank you. We're available in North America today, international soon.
Awesome. Perfect. And then we did have one question just regarding our digital guidebook here at Hostfully at the beginning of the call, so wanted to address that. And that was just asking, is this an app or is this something you hang and mount on your wall? It's actually going to be a web-based platform, just meaning all it's going to be is a link. It's going to populate well across all devices, whether that's a phone, computer, iPad. So really all you have to do is send the guest the unique link to the guidebook and they'll have access from there. So very easy for all of your guests to access.
That's awesome. Jim, we have another question here. Besides door lock and thermostats, what are other common smart devices that property managers are adopting?
Doorbell cameras are one that are starting to become more popular. Noise detection, and I would say water detection is becoming real popular too. The ability for devices to sense water and send a notification right away. And we just implemented also, which we've been getting a lot of inquiry about, is a water valve shut-off. The ability to put a device on the main line to a unit, and then when a water leak is detected, the property manager has the ability to shut off the main water supply to the house, as well as get a water meter reading on how many gallons that unit is using. So those are just off the top of my head some other devices that are in importance.
Awesome. Thank you. Joanne is also asking, she mentioned that she is a smaller property manager with 2 properties, but she's asking how can this be adapted for someone like her, like usually smaller property managers? Are they currently using smart home technologies as well, or do you think this is more like for bigger property managers?
Well, at PointCentral, we try to have a minimum of 25 doors, but smaller property managers, less than 25 doors, we have a solution for. Also, we have a nationwide dealer partner network. As many people may know, PointCentral is a subsidiary of Alarm.com, which is really the world's largest smart home automation hardware and software platform. And we have a dealer network across the United States. And that dealer network can help with our solution with property managers that have a smaller number of doors that they're currently managing.
Awesome. Great. Let's see more questions coming up. Do you want to ask Sean's question, Coulter?
Yep, absolutely, Jim. So Sean here is asking, is there a way to tie in a decibel-reading or reporting device, humidity reading devices? Can it have that capability?
At PointCentral, our thermostat includes a humidity reading device. It'll also send a notification if the humidity in a unit gets into a dangerous zone. So yes, yes, we have that, yes.
Great. And Jim, is support going to be available for both the property managers as well as residents for PointCentral? What's the support look like?
Yeah, so the support is on both sides, right? So the owner or the guest gets that support. Most of the time, that support really is for the property manager, but the owner also has the ability to talk to our call center and get that support, absolutely.
Awesome.
That's great. Before we keep going through the questions, and thank you again for participating, and feel free to send more questions. Again, we're not going to be able to go over all of them, and especially those personal questions. We're trying to basically benefit the whole group. But actually, I think we're going to be able to play this video. Please let me know if this is going to be played right now. Hey, everybody. I'm Pedro, Leal. And in this video, I'm going to show you how our secured link guidebook feature works. This feature basically allows you to automate the process of sending property information, house manual, local recommendations, and of course, the door code to your guest. I'm logging into my Hostfully property management account, and this is my pipeline. And as we can see, I can see all my reservations, all my leads, and I can also manually add a new reservation. And that's basically what I'm going to do, just to show you an example. I'm going to also change the status from on hold to booked, and I have to enter a name. In this case, I'm just going to use my name as an example. I have to enter an email, and I save it. Simple like that, a new reservation has been created. And if I update my pipeline, that reservation should be right on the top, because in this case, I'm sorting it by most recent. I'm going to edit this reservation, and I'm going to go under Stay Details. And here, I can set a door code for this specific reservation. So this is the door code I'm setting up. I save it. And now I have template and triggers in place, which will basically automate emails to my guest. Now let's go back to this inbox right here. Here we go. I just received my email. And as I can see here, variables are actually populating my first name, property name, and also the check-in date. Of course, we have a lot of different variables you could use. In this template, I'm also sharing the pre-arrival form and the agreement that can be electronically signed through our platform. But we can talk about that in a different video. What I wanted to show you is the secured link. And if you see at the end of this link, there's a token. And that's basically what makes this guidebook unique. So every time you have a new booking, you have a new guidebook. And Hostfully will automatically update your guidebook with your first and last name, check-in and check-out dates, and of course, the door code that we just created. On top of that, there's also your house manual, places to eat, bars, attractions, our marketplace, and many other features that our guidebook offers. That's great. I hope you could have a good idea of how Hostfully property management software and guidebook works. And on top of that, now we're going to add a little bit of smart home integrations into that. As you guys see, I enter manually that code. And if you're using an integration like PointCentral, basically PointCentral would be setting that code up for you. Every time you have a new reservation and a new code is generated, set it up on the device, set up on Hostfully, and we can basically, send the communication to your guest and make that more like a seamless process. Now let's take a look a little bit on the polls. We have some results right here. Very surprising to me and very exciting that 64% of the audience of this webinar today responded that they're currently using at least one smart home device. While 27% is still considering, and only 9% is not using that yet. So great job. I think automating is definitely the way to scale. One asked about if your PMS is currently integrated with your smart home devices. We're in 50-50%. So half of the audience has the PMS integrated with their solution. Half of it hasn't yet. That's an interesting fact as well. I think it's a great possibility to have that integrated, but property management softwares can also look into that and start integrating with different companies. And then lastly, how optimistic or pessimistic are you for 2021? Basically 91% of the audience is very optimistic about 2021, which is a great sign. I also believe our market is really increasing this year. Again, if you have any other additional questions to Hostfully, to Jim, feel free to send it to us. Otherwise, I will have to end up this webinar, but in a very, very thankful note to Jim. Thank you so much again, Jim, for joining us today. Thank you, the audience, for being with us until the end. We have very consistent people up until now, so it's great. Keep on the lookout. Hostfully is hosting a lot of different webinars. It's our pleasure to bring more content and information to the market, to the industry. If you haven't downloaded our paper, go ahead and do it. If you haven't tested our product, so if you'd like to have a demo, please reach out to us. I'll be sending out a follow-up email where some people are requesting the presentation. So we're going to send the presentation. We're going to send Jim's contact as well. I'll also send Coulter's contact. So if you'd like to hear more about Hostfully, we're going to be happy to tell you more and learn more about your business. Thank you so much for your audience. I look forward to seeing you on our next webinar. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Coulter. See you guys next.